on the other side of the ridge. This looks like this used to be the old gold mine area. They have it covered here with grates, of course. Can't see down, but it looks pretty far. But I do smell like the maybe a little sulfur smelling. Yeah. Okay, Saguaro National Park again. We are gonna do about a 5-mile trip today. It's gonna be nice and warm. Tucson, Arizona is east of Saguaro National Park West. Zooming down into our hiking areas. We did on the west side. We did three major hikes: Wasson Peak, the Signal Hill, and this is a dogwood path here. That was impressive, actually. But today we're going to concentrate on the blue line, which is our Sendero Esperanza, Path of Hope. Start real quick off of the big picture. Terrain. You see Wasson Peak to the left. As you can see, it starts off gradually as it works its way up to the ridge line here. It crosses the path. It crosses the Hugh Norris trail here, which I thought was impressive. If you ever do Wasson Peak, make sure you do the Hugh Norris. And then the Sendero Esperanza goes down into, this is that mine. This is gold mine right here, copper. And worked its way over to the Mam-A-Gah, who was another Native American Tohono chief. And then there's some petroglyphs down here, which I didn't see. But let's do another quick, maybe a little more closer next to the ridge here. Trailheads on top. We come across the ridge right here. As you can see, it looks nice, smooth. It's good exercise, actually. Okay, enjoy the hike. All right, another morning, beautiful Southwest USA morning. Getting ready to go out for another hike again. Let's see. We did go up there to the peak there, but we're not doing that today. We're just gonna do a 5-mile up the hill, down the hill, Esperanza Trail today. Let's see if we can listen to the birds. Of course, they decide not to go. Nice, quiet, peaceful morning. Starting the Sendero Esperanza Trail. Probably go close as we can to this Mam-A-Gah picnic area. We'll cross the Hugh Norris Trail. We're not doing Wasson Peak today. We did that the other day, a few days ago. Here we are. Beautiful morning. A little bit cool, low 40s, but it'll warm up as soon as the sun comes up and over the mountain there. All right, let's have a good hike. have to figure out what that bird is. Okay, we're working our way up to the peak, to the mountain, to the top of the ridge here. That's the Hugh Norris Trail. We are at 1 mile. Just the trail's nice and wide here. Looks nice, sandy. Very nice and quiet. Sun's slowly coming up over the mountain there. Beautiful. Mile 1. Mile 1. This guy's not too happy on the Ocotillo. He's signaling to his buddies. Maybe his family's around. Don't know. Okay, 1.7 from Esperanza. This is working our way at the top of the ridge here. That way goes up to Wasson Peak, which we did the other day. This one here came from Wasson Peak, and then this is the downward side of Esperanza. Hello, future self. We are in Tucson, Arizona, United States. Sendero Esperanza Trail in Saguaro National Park. Sendero Esperanza is Path of Hope, translation to Spanish, from Spanish. It is a nice, good hike, panoramic views of the desert, and you can also use this as a gateway to the Wasson Peak, which is the higher peak. It's considered moderate. There is a gain right at the center of the ridge, well, both sides of the ridge that you have to climb if you go up and over and back. It looks like a roughly 1,000 feet elevation gain. Didn't know that. The first mile is relatively flat and wide, following an old mining road through a sandy wash. The second half becomes steeper and rockier, utilizing switchbacks to reach the ridgeline. Okay, so again, you can do this first half, I guess, from the trailhead of Sendero Esperanza, and then you can turn left to Wasson Peak if that's what you prefer. There's several ways to get to Wasson Peak. This is just one way inside the park. Actually, I think this Sendero is better, has nicer views. And then I was curious what meaning behind other than Path of Hope. Well, that's it, Path of Hope. And then it acts as a major north-south connector between the Golden Gate Road and the Kings Canyon Trail. Yep, I can see that. And there are panoramic vistas once you get to the top of the ridge. Really looks nice up there. Okay. It just went on a little bit more about the path. Why was there special meaning behind the Path of Hope? While several trails in the region use similar names, this specific trail's moniker reflects both its physical promise and its cultural significance. A good omen for travelers. Historically, the name Esperanza was often given to roads or paths in the arid southwest as a good omen for travelers. Well, this wasn't part of a mining area, as well as probably Indian trails, old Native American trails. For hikers today, the hope is found in the trail's steady climb toward the Ridgeline, which promises a reward of spectacular 360 views. Wildflower, the hope. The trail is particularly famous for its seasonal wildflower displays. During spring, it offers a hope of seeing desert flower blankets in vibrant Mexican gold poppies and other blooms. So let me see if I can do this. Will it show? Winter showers bring. Oh, it does. Perfect. So this is from Arizona State Parks and Trails. This is just an image. This is just a few days ago. They because of there was a lot of rain in the area in the southwest here. It looks like this coming year is going to be a good wildflower bloom. So if you can see here, the poppies and then the lupin are abundant. Okay, let's see. There was a mine that the trail goes right by. It's called Gould Mine. I was curious. You could tell something was there. It was a big settlement of some sort, but it was an old copper mine by this guy Silas, who formed the Gold Copper Mining Company with 19 claims. It looks like he made about $9,000, roughly $300,000 in 2026 money. In the videos, I was smelling that peculiar smell. I think I called it sulfur, but it was copper. Yeah, now that I know it's copper, like, oh yeah, that's right. That was the aroma of copper. It looks like they were getting ready to try to open it up, the mine again, in the I guess 1940, and it finally closed in 54. Okay, in the 50s, the Banning Company attempted to, here it is, the Banning Company attempted to open it up again to make it an open pit. At the time, the Saguaro Saguaro area was called the Saguaro National Monument, which then President John F. Kennedy turned it into the Saguaro National Park, which then encompassed the mine, therefore no further mining in the area. Looks like the local people uprose a little bit, made a little rumble, took it all the way to DC. Cool. I wanted to see some photos of the mine, but let me see if this will come out. I hope so. Let's see if I lower this down a little bit. Yeah, here we go. So you can't really tell, but this is the mine area, and the trail comes from the left here, all the way across down, and over here down to this area. A little farther is that Mam-A-Gah. So old mine, all these old talus. I call it talus, but it's called tailings. Tailings all along here you can still see. And the mine shaft here is covered with grades. Cool. All right, and then we moved down to we went to this little, the hike. I went all the way to Mam-A-Gah, which is a little picnic area, and it ended up being about 3 miles out and 3 miles back, so a little over 6. From a Tohono Indian chief. So they made that settlement there, and it looks like in the 30s, the CCC created the nice area that I have a couple pictures of. I guess this one's here's the picture of. Okay, let me see now. I think that's it. Oh no. So there's the wildflowers that are coming. I asked to see if they would see a lot of pictures, if there were any pictures, and that's where I got the pictures of the wildflowers here. So apparently it's a pretty thing to do. I have to come back in the spring. But then I think it's hit and miss. Let's see. Yeah, it's like a hit and miss. Sometimes it blooms a lot, sometimes it doesn't. So it just depends on, I guess you have to live across the street. All right, enjoy the hike. Thank you. Hey, we were looking, we were at 1.75. I guess I should have waited but to get to, but we're on the downward slope of the Esperanza on the south, I guess it would be the southeast side of the trail. You can see how the trail winds its way down here. Downward side, Esperanza trail. Okay, so this is a 2-mile mark here. Esperanza, working our way down. Just give you a few. I think, I wonder if there's a tag up there. I wonder if that was mine. Don't know. Basically, trail's nice. It's been downward the last half mile. Nice view. Right around 2 miles here, a little over. I think it's Sendero Esperanza Trail. We'll do some research on it. So we're about 2.5 miles in from the Esperanza trailhead on the other side of the ridge. This looks like this used to be the old Gould Mine area. They have it covered here with grates, of course. Can't see down, but it looks pretty far. But I do smell like the maybe a little sulfur smelling down in the hole here, coming up from the hole. You can see the talus here and some of the old support structures. Yeah, look at this. Looks like some bricks down there as well. Cool. 2.5 from the trailhead of Esperanza. Looking south from the Gould Mine Esperanza Trail area. Working our way, I think it's 2.5, so I think I want to go to maybe the 3-point mark and then come back. Probably use as a little shelter area for the mine here. I love this prickly pine here, prickly cactus, Palo Verde, and then we have a nice cholla here. And then here we have our buckeye looking out. Okay, 3 miles, 3.1-ish, looking south. Trail's right over here. You can see the somebody walking there. I'm gonna go back up that direction to the right here. Moving around and we'll end up, I believe that's up there towards Wasson Peak spot here. They even have a little fire ring. All right, this is a little rest stop, I'll call it, as we work our way out. All right, time to go back up. A little over 3 miles. Okay, mile 4. Working our way back to the trailhead. Looking south right here into the valley. We're on Esperanza Trail. All right, here's the valley we just came up this morning where we started. Trail to the left here. Parking area is right down there. Let me see here if I can get it in there. Might become focused. I'm thinking that's it right there. Let's enjoy a clip coming up 2 minutes 2 minutes with an overview of the Saguaro National Parks, both sides, east and west. It's from Unclassic Road Trip. Check it out.
You won't believe your eyes. In the arid Sonoran Desert, 2 districts comprise the 91,000-plus acre park. It's Saguaro National Park. There are over 165 miles of hiking trails in the national park. A bonanza for cactus fans. The 8-mile one-way Cactus Forest Drive weaves through the picture-perfect saguaro forest of the Eastern District, the Rincon Mountain District. This district contains 128 miles of trails and 6 biotic communities. Cactus Forest Trail is our single favorite, but we make all kinds of combo loops incorporating many of the trails that can be accessed from Broadway and Speedway Boulevards without going through the main park entrance. There is limited but adequate trailhead parking on these boulevards. At the Tucson Mountain District, that's the Western District, the 8.5-mile Mam-A-Gah Loop Drive starts at the Red Hills Visitor Center. 6 miles of the Loop Drive are graded dirt. The major trails intersect, making for a variety of options through the marvelous Cactus Wonderland. Although they are similar, if time allows, it's nice to tour both districts. The park's namesake plant is North America's largest cactus, and the saguaro blossom is the state flower. The stately saguaro blooms nightly from late April into June, and each bloom lasts only 24 hours. Our first visit to the Western District was in May, the peak bloom time. The plant lives for 150 to 200 years, can reach 50 feet tall, and weigh up to 10 tons. A 20-foot saguaro weighs approximately 1 ton. Any saguaro with arms is a minimum of 75 years old. Amazing, isn't it? Animals and other cacti common to the desert flourish at this national park. The districts lie 30 miles apart on opposite sides of Tucson, and anyone spending time in Tucson should plan to spend a minimum of a half a day at each. Travel time between districts is approximately 45 minutes to an hour. So one long, hard day, you can get a good introduction to this amazing desert wonderland.